Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode, Everyday Off-Road. Today, I got a sweet package. And as y'all probably saw in the last video, the Hawk Pride wheeling trip a couple videos back, I destroyed my front drive shaft. Didn't take us but, I don't know, maybe 3 hours in the woods, and I found the first weak spot on this Jeep, which is still pretty new to me. To replace, now mind you, this is an upgraded drive shaft. It's from Carolina Driveshaft. I don't think it's anything that Carolina Driveshaft done wrong, but needless to say, I broke it. So, good thing it's tough, right? What I have is this beautiful 1350 custom shaft from Adams. This thing is beefy. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Beautiful welds, nice big 1350 joint, double carding on the other side. This thing is going to be sweet. Not only did it come 1350 drive shaft, but ordered as a kit, comes with all the yokes and flanges you need for your transfer case and your axle side. Now I've got a Dana 44 under mine, so just call them up, tell them what you got. They'll send you out some nice forged yokes, and looks like we got hardware and a little bit of Loctite in the box here. And they send you a pretty sweet little sticker. That's cool. Also got an Adams Driveshaft t-shirt. That's pretty cool too. I think that comes with it. They asked me over the phone what size I wanted. Let's see what's in this one. Making a mess. Got another sticker. Bunch more of my favorite packing peanuts. This one's labeled pinion yoke. Oh yeah. Another nice forged piece with USA stamped in the back of it. That is awesome. Let's go install it. All right, so the first step's obviously going to be to remove your drive shaft. Now for me, mine kind of did that on its own. All I had to do was pull the skid plate, prop up the transmission and transfer case. Got a block of wood holding it right now. And then first step after that is going to be to pull your pinion nut. Mine is a metric. I'm very sure of it because most Jeep stuff's metric. I didn't have anything big enough. I want to say it's a 28 or a 29 millimeter, but I did have an 1.125", which fit it just about perfectly. Just put that on my big Milwaukee gun and zapped it off. So with that nut off, what we're gonna do, just pull out the flange. Just kidding. I'm gonna get something to catch this oil. All right, guys, right here on the transfer case side, it's gonna be about the same size. We're gonna zap this off real quick, hopefully. I'll tell you what, if y'all don't have one of these 1/2-inch Milwaukees, I'm not sponsored by Milwaukee, but God, what I love to be. I have still yet to find a nut or a bolt that this thing cannot break free. And I've only got the 5.0 battery. I don't know if you get the bigger one, your brake torque goes up a little bit. Set that box right there. Reach back here, got a little bit of oil right there we can use. This seal's not leaking, so we're not going to mess with it. But I am going to grab this in case we fall in fluid. Hopefully it's not as bad as the front. There we go. Just slide it off. Make sure there should be a little rubber O-ring on there, and that just seals it up for when the nut goes on. Fun part is getting it all lined back up without destroying that little O-ring. There we go. Nice. Take our nut. I'm doing this quick just to get the video, but what I usually like to do is take a little bit of RTV, put it around this nut. Not all dried up. Yep, there we go. Just take a little bit. We're gonna rub it right around the flange on this nut, just for a little bit of added sealing power. Doesn't take much. Whatever. Wipe the rest on your shirt so your wife gets mad at you. That's always fun. Thread this back on there. All right. Grab our 1 1/8" incorrect size socket that fits perfectly. You know, hold it. Go crazy with it. We're just going to put it back tight, plus a little bit. Just don't want any play in it. I'm sure there's a torque spec, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you, as long as it's tight and doesn't leak. All this is going to get changed out eventually, hopefully for an Atlas 4-speed. All right, guys, so before we put this new drive shaft in, just a couple notes. Adam sends you in the hardware kit, I guess this is for both of them, it says please clean the oil residue off the CV bolts before using the Loctite. The bolts should be torqued to 18 foot-pounds. And what they're talking about is just this little bit of, just a little, you know, shipping lube that they put on it just so they don't start to rust. So we're gonna hit those, a little bit of brake clean, put some Loctite on it, and we're gonna torque them to 18 foot-pounds. All right, these new bolts drive shaft comes with, they are 8mm 12-point heads. We're just going to use a little 8mm wrench to wrestle this thing in there. Here we go. Highly advised to get a second person, possibly come help you with this. We are going, what do we want to do? Let's get the rear end. I can get it squared up here. It doesn't want to. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. You get one of these started just to hold it, and then we'll come back, put Loctite on all of them. Life would be a lot easier with a nice ratchet wrench. But you do this enough times, you kind of get used to it. Old school. It should be tight enough to hold it up there. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna nicely let that dangle for a second while I get this opened. Dab a Loctite on this next one. Not much, doesn't take much, just a little bit, and get that started. That's a better position there. Just go as far as we can, hand tightening it, and we'll torque it down. Yep, I see a set of ratchet wrenches in the future. All right, guys, I don't want to bore you with putting in a bunch of tiny little bolts by hand, so went ahead and got those torqued down to 18 foot-pounds. Pull some tape off this front one. They put on there just to keep the caps on while shipping. All the tape on it. All right, I'll throw that over into the ongoing pile of crap that I have in this garage right now. All right, I went ahead and pre-cleaned the U-joint straps, a little bit of brake clean. Extend this out. And it is a tight fit. I'll give it a little bit of encouragement here with the and all you're gonna do, same thing, I'll grab that little bit of Loctite. Now with these you want to be careful. I don't really like putting a bunch of Loctite on these threads just because these get a lot of dirt on them. That's nature's Loctite. You want to be able to get them off. They got little lock washers with them too, so I just put just a little bit. As your kindergarten teacher told you, just a dot. It's not a lot. Go ahead and get these started. There we go. Okay, that side's not quite all the way in. Give it a little love tap as well. Blindly. Maybe enough to get a thread on. All right, now we'll take our 14mm open end and we will get these tightened up as well. Now, how you want to do this so you don't over tighten one side is once you get it snug, kind of just keep working. I like to get them snug first and then kind of like a tire, how you just kind of work your way around. I'm gonna check for a torque spec if there is one. I'm sure there is. Just keep working around until they get tight. Give that one more. Oh, give it one more because I can't get enough on it. Guys, I'm just doing this by feel. By all means, if you feel inclined to look up a torque spec and torque it, go ahead. But I'm a firm believer in, I've done it 100 times, I can kind of feel how tight it needs to get. Yeah. All right. We got a drive shaft installed. Let's take a look at this. This thing is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.